All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. On behalf of the Bruno family, we welcome you to the 71st season of competition at the Airborne Park Speedway, presented by the New England Ford Dealers.
Willsboro, New York, in the Valley View Firewood No Limit Electric car number 38. That's Mike Finney. And up to the outside of him at Wells, Vermont with the Marcel Builders. Cloud9 Cannabis car number 77. The former Superbike racer, that is Eric Shaw. Row number 2 on the inside out of Williston with the Gauthier Racing and Discount Parts car number 34X. That is Robert Gauthier. And up to the outside of him out of Swanton, Vermont with the Raised Dyes and Tubing Bordeaux Brothers Fertilizer and Feed car number 22. It's Dylan Rabtoy. Michael Wright with the Vermont Precision Tool car number 78 out of Allbird starts in that 5th position, and up to the outside of him, that is going to be the 19 for Jamie Begor. Caleb Durgan in the 17, Nick Haywood in the 29, and shotgun starter is going to be the 7L of Bomazine, Vermont's Josh LeClaire aboard the Reed Door Solutions car number 7. No start situation here on the first go-round. We'll try it again. One more time. Mike Finney and Eric Shaw have to fire together at the green start flag closest to the flag stand. That is the end of the Hebert's Lawn Care and Landscape and Go Green Zone, where original starts must happen. Finney and Shaw. Green flag is out, much better this time, and here we go. Down to the turn number 1. Eric Shaw from the outside gets a good jump, and he's going to run away with the lead down the back straightaway. 3 wide for 4th. Michael Wright, Robert Gauthier, and Jamie Begor going at it. Further back, Caleb Durgan trying to move. He's trying to gain a spot down low on Gauthier. Lap number 1 scored for Eric Shaw. Mike Finney in that number 2 spot trying to track him down. Good run right now for Rabtoy in that 3rd position. Begor and Wright the top 5. Top 6 will be handicapped into their starting positions for tonight's main event for the JNS Steel Sportsman. Jamie Begor trying to work the outside lane. Hang on, Michael Wright with a slip up. That's going to allow the youngster Caleb Durgan to get by. So Durgan promotes himself to the 5th position, and he's going to look for more down on the inside of Jamie Begor in the west end. Durgan with a look to the inside. Begor still trying to work higher up on the racetrack, and Durgan is going to scoot right by on the bottom. Eric Shaw out in front, continuing to grow the lead that he has built up. Halfway down, halfway to go. Eric Shaw leads the way.
I've been impressed with his performance week in and week out. He has really come on with that number 77, doing a fine job. And he's got a half backstretch advantage over a guy who's really quick in that 38. Mike Finney, seems like every single year, Mike finds a way to get into victory lane. Always a consistent runner with the Valley View Firewood number 38 sitting in that 2nd spot. Good work for Dylan Rabtoy and the Raised Dyes and Tubing number 22 sitting in that 3rd spot. Begor running in spot number 4. Caleb Durgan rounds out the top 5. Michael Wright is 6th. Nick Haywood in the 7th position, as now less than 2 laps remain for the 77 of Eric Shaw. Shaw is not letting that lead shrink whatsoever. The 38 of Finney is almost a full backstretch behind the leader right now. Behind Nick Haywood, Josh LeClaire in the 7L, and then Robert Gauthier in the 34X. White flag is out for Shaw in the 77, and this is quite a run. Very convincing performance from the 77 team. Eric Shaw will make his way through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the hand of Kenny Marshall. And that's a fine job by the driver of the 77, Eric Shaw. Finishing in the 2nd spot will be Mike Finney in the 38. 3rd, it's the 22 of Dylan Rabtoy. 4th to Jamie Begor in the 19. Caleb Durgan, 5th. 6th to Michael Wright. 7th. Ford Liquor and Wine Warehouse, number 7 from Plattsburgh, that's Cody Aubin. Row number 6. On the inside, the 11th starting spot for the Vermont Precision Tools, number 78 from Alberg. That's Michael Wright in the 78. And starting alongside Charlotte Morin in the 09. That's the field. Green flags are out and we're underway. Field will make their way up in a 1 and 2. From the outside of the front row, Bucko Branham will vault to the lead off the top side off of turn number 2. Branham has the lead. Finney runs in second. They're racing for that third spot on the inside. Here comes Matt Leonard through. He's going to grab the third spot. The Shaw 77 goes back to fourth. Racing side by side for fifth into turn number 1. McClatchy on the inside. On the top side, Brent Warren in the 2. The 22 of Dylan Raptoy moving. Here comes 3 wide racing inside the top 10. Lonnie Rivers way up high. Corey Castell, the meat and the sandwich. He'll back out of it. Michael Wright's coming on through in the 78 machine. Lots of side-by-side racing inside the top 10. Branham leading out front. Finney running in second. Third, Matt Leonard. Fourth is McClatchy. Here's the race for fifth. Dylan Raptoy in the 22. He works on the inside. Shaw in the 77 drifts up high in 4. Off of turn number 4. Shaw will hang on to the 5th spot. 6th is Raptoy. The Pilot Chemical Company 29 for Tanner Forbes runs in 7th. Brent Warren is backsliding in the 2. He's back in the 8th spot now. Michael Wright runs in the 9th spot with a number 78 as he looks to the inside of Cody Aubin's number 7. Aubin right now is in the 10th spot. He's working the top and he's coming towards the front. He'll get a spot on Wright and now he'll get after the 2 of Brent Warren. Problems for Shaw in the 77. He almost jumped off the top of turn number 2. He lost a couple of spots in that exchange. We'll continue to check on the progress of Cody Aubin. He's working way up high on the outside, and that groove is working for him as now there are 5 down, and Bucko Branham is in control out front.
Eric Shaw's had some kind of problem on the left front of that race car since the drop of the green flag, and I don't know if the tie rod bolt is loose or the drag link bolt is loose or the spindle's coming off, but something is going wrong on the left front corner of Eric Shaw's car. We're going to have to keep our eyes on him as that left front tire just flopping back and forth throughout the whole corner. Big lead right now for Bucko. Looks a lot like the heat race. Mike Finney trying to track him down. Jason McClatchy gets high, loses a little bit of ground up off turn number 4. Rob, you mentioned Cody Aubin on a big run. He has found the cushion aboard the Liquor and Wine Warehouse number 7. And a guy that was in victory lane just a couple of weeks ago is trying to go back. He is marching toward the front on board the 7. Little contact there. Michael Wright, Brent Warren get together. Cody Aubin is going to go by both of those drivers now and set his sights on Shaw, the next car in line. So Shaw is 7th. Hang on, one up the backstretch. It's Brent Warren. The Whiting, Vermont driver is going to go around, and that's going to bring out the yellow right in front. And it's all about Bucko right now at the front. Further back, the Hornet's Nest that we saw in the 358 feature is mimicking itself here with the Sportsman. 2 and 3 wide racing. Hang on, Shaw and Aubin get together. Eric Shaw gets into the side of Cody Aubin. They're fighting for about the 7th or 8th position, and now Donovan Lucier trying to move through the middle. He gets by Corey Castell, trying to avoid the squeeze, and Castell gets a little bit out of shape. He's going to lose some ground. Fire Swamp and Nick Haywood trying to keep pace with Donovan Lucier right now as they rip-roar around the Big A. Swamp finding the extreme outside lane as he's known to do. 11 laps on the board. Now Bucko still pulling away.
Branham doing a fine job out front. They were just racing 3 wide just outside the top 10. Donovan Lucier in the 6th.